Hey guys, how are you? Zach from Zach Loves Books. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming back to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you like the content. I'm feeling kind of lost right now because, just starting this channel, I feel like I'm surrounded by so many books and by my apartment. I don't know where to start. Do I do like fiction or do I do like non-fiction? And it's a hard choice. I don't know if you guys are new to reading or if you've been reading all your life. I've been reading all my life. Sometimes it's hard to choose what you want to read. I mean, the beauty about nonfiction, is you can just pick up anywhere, stop anywhere, pick up anywhere, and, you don't get lost. And so I have tons of nonfiction I can choose from. And then the beauty of fiction is that sometimes, even though the story is made up, it can be written so well and the characters could be written so well that it reads like as if it could have been true. Obviously not in this case, which is a zombie book. But haven't gotten to this, haven't gotten to some of these, but I'm ready to get into these. So whatever gets you reading, guys, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, like I said before, you can only read a finite number of books a year or in a month or in a week. So, speaking of being lost, we'll start with that. Today I'm going to review A Long Way Gone by, A Long Way Home, actually, by Saroo Brierley. You've probably heard of this. It's been republished under a different name called Lion, starring Dev Patel from Slumdog Millionaire. So don't watch the movie before you actually read the book. But the book is actually amazing. I read this years ago. So the book is about this guy, Saroo Brierley, and he lived in a village in India, and him and his brother, used to like play in the local area. And one day they go and they're playing at the train station. I don't know if it was abandoned or not, but nobody was there. And Saroo and his brother fall asleep, and then when he wakes up, his brother's gone and the train is already moving out of the station, and he ends up going, I think, to Calcutta. And he's lost and he's terrified because he's only 5 and he's all alone. And then what happens over the next 6 months or so is, as a 5-year-old, he's homeless on the street and just eating the food that people drop. And he almost dies a couple of times. Someone tries to abduct him. He's just eating scraps, and eventually he makes it to an orphanage where he's adopted by an Australian couple, and they take him to Australia, and he's raised there. Later on, they adopt another child too, who becomes his stepbrother. But his stepbrother is like mentally just messed up more than him. But you can read more about that in the book. But the focal point of the book is that he's adopted by this Australian family, but he longs to find his birth parents and his mom. And so years later, when he's an adult, he starts to use Google Maps, and just based on memory alone, he starts to make little pinpoints on the map, trying to find where his village is. And there's like thousands of villages in India, but based on landmarks he remembers from his 5-year-old mind, he starts to piece together where his village might be. And spoiler alert, sorry, I don't mean to do this, but he does find his mom in the end. So it is a happy ending. He finds his mom, I guess, about halfway through the book. It had me in tears, guys. I gotta admit, it's a tearjerker. And I read the book before the movie came out. And the reason why I said before, do not watch the movie before you read the book, is because the movie actually didn't do the book justice. If you watch the movie, you will not want to read the book. And that's why I have the old cover, which I think is more interesting than the new cover, which Dev Patel is on the cover of the new book. And I don't like Dev Patel anymore. I only like the Slumdog Millionaire. But anyhow, could they have chosen a better actor than Dev Patel? Did Dev Patel ruin the movie? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm just kidding. The movie did not do the book justice. But what's amazing here is how he used the Google technology and Google Maps. And it took him years to put this together, to pinpoint where his village was. And then there's a big reunion in the end. And just the odds of him finding his family after 25 years by using Google Maps, from recalling memories from his 5-year-old mind, is just a testament in itself to the miracle of this story. So check that out if you guys want to get it. This one, unlike the other recommendations I made in my other 2 videos, will be easier to find in the bookstore. Just not this cover. You'll be able to find the Dev Patel version. So unless you like to collect covers like I do, then this will be harder to find than the Dev Patel cover. But in any case, good read. It's not fiction. It's not really nonfiction. It's memoir. First memoir I'm reviewing here, and there's going to be a lot more to come. Speaking of which, another memoir. This is kind of like just random. Holy cow. It's about a girl that goes to India, and then she hates everything about it, and she leaves. But on her way out at the airport, a man stops her, claiming to be psychic and that he's going to read her hand. And he says to her, "You're going to come back to India, but this time for love." And she brushes him off, like, "Get out of here. I'm leaving this place. I hate this place and everything about it." And yet, like a year or 2 later, she does fall in love with an Indian man and goes back to India. So, haven't read this one, but Holy Cow by Saroo Macdonald. Check that one out too. If you like books set in India, it's a memoir. There's also books set in India that are fiction and nonfiction that I may review later. I'm not really particularly keen on reviewing books set in India, whether they're fiction or nonfiction, but this one I can definitely recommend. So check that out. I think you might like it. Let me know in the comments if you've read it. Let me know if you end up reading it and what you thought. And just let me know if there's anything that you want me to review in any upcoming reviews, whether they're fiction or nonfiction. All right, guys, that's it for now. Thanks. We'll see you next time.